Okay, so I wanted to let a few days pass from the Star Wars Squadrons announcement. I know everyone's been rushing out their trailer breakdown and things you missed and all that stuff, but I really wanted to let a few days go by and see what type of reception this game gets, because that is going to be very interesting. But first of all, there was a leak, and I know a lot of you are going to be interested in this leak. I know I certainly was, so we're going to get that out of the way straight away. I didn't want to make a separate dedicated video on it. And that's about an actual clone, that's right, one of the clones from the Clone Wars, being present in Star Wars Squadrons. Now bearing in mind this could be fake, so always just keep that in mind and don't get your hopes up for something that isn't yet confirmed. But we have a post here, a small leak someone heard from a scooper regarding a character from the Clone Wars in Star Wars Squadrons. The post reads, "Nothing major here, but Anakin's 501st pilot from the Clone Wars series, Hawk, appears in the main story as a New Republic pilot trainer. Whether he got his chip out or met up with Rex or other clones, I do not know. Nor do I know how big a role he plays in the campaign. He is voiced and mocapped," and this is very interesting, but he is voiced and mocapped by Tamara Morrison instead of D. Bradley Baker. This is due to the more realistic style of the graphics. So Tamara Morrison is the actor who played the clones in the movies and voiced them as well, and D. Bradley Baker is the actor who voiced the clones in the Clone Wars series and Battlefront 2, so you're probably more used to him, even in Jedi Star Wars Fallen Order. Which is interesting here in the post because they say due to the more realistic style of graphics, but haven't all their games had that realistic style of graphics? Either way, we're going to see Hawk, which, whether you know him or not, is pretty irrelevant for me as a Clone Wars fan. It's pretty big. Well, the fact that they're getting another clone, who most likely did get their chip out, disobeyed Order 66 possibly, and is now helping out in the rebellion, is just going to be very interesting. It connects all things together, and it's going to be nice to see at least one clone. You never know, we could see others as well, but at least one clone in Star Wars Squadrons, because as I'm going to start talking about now, it does look like we're kind of breaking away from that Clone Wars content and even in a lot of ways sequel trilogy content. But I'm looking forward to seeing Hawk in the game, training the next generation of pilots for the New Republic. I think it's only right the clones who fought in one of the hardest wars in galactic history get to train the next generation. But look, like I said, I let a few days pass because I was very interested with this Star Wars Squadrons game. How are people going to receive it? Because in a lot of ways, to the casual fan, it may look like Battlefront 2 was cancelled for this game. I doubt that was the case. Battlefront 2 lasted a lot longer than first expected because of the amount of DLC that they started adding to the game. So I wouldn't say Squadrons is a direct replacement by any needs. It was probably just coming out anyway at this point. But like I said, I've been looking at a lot of videos people are making on this game, and I won't say videos skyrocketed by any means, bearing in mind this game leaked on a Friday and then got a trailer on a Monday, so there's a lot of hype there to be built just in a few days. It's not like things have been dropped here and there, little hints. This was a lot of hype, and bearing in mind if this was a Battlefront game, I think the hype would be blowing through the roof. But if we look at the actual statistics of the trailer, within the first 2 days, it's got 150,000 likes, which is great, and 12,000 dislikes. And what would I say about that ratio? The dislikes are always going to be there, especially on an EA title. But 150 likes is by no means insane, considering this was revealed just 2 days ago. But it's not bad either. I think the game, honestly, was received a lot better than I thought. I wasn't expecting this to do nearly as well as it has. So I think in terms of hype, there's definitely something there. I know personally watching the trailer, I was expecting something pretty budget, and it doesn't look like that so far. However, we got to see gameplay. There's also the $35/$40 price tag on this thing, so not the stereotypical full price of a full game these days. It's a bit off from that, which probably means you could guess a lot of things. Maybe no live support on this one, maybe not as much actual content in the game. Are we really going to be expecting 20 versus 20? I doubt that. 5v5 has already been confirmed for dogfights, so once again, the scale of this thing probably is going to be smaller, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a budget game. And one thing I want to lay off on, but I know it's just going to keep coming back and people are even going to perceive it this way as well, is that I don't want to be comparing this game to Battlefront 2, but the fact of the matter is, I feel like with Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game, and Battlefront 2, it's important to have a game on both platforms for Star Wars where It's a multiplayer game, content is constantly getting added to it with those iconic heroes people want to play as, your Vaders, your Anakins, your Grievuses. I hate to say it, but the vast majority of your Star Wars gaming audience are going to be playing the games when those characters are involved. So if this was to go alongside a live support Battlefront 2 that had never been cancelled, I think this would do pretty well. But then putting all the focus onto a Squadrons game, onto a space combat only game, not only alienates a lot of the audience, because like I said, I've been looking around and people's views on this don't seem to be up there with what I see coming up for Battlefront. I did a thorough investigation, and from those watching this type of content, they definitely seem to be enjoying it, but there's a lot of people who aren't clicking Squadrons content so far, and when you've just got a full release of a trailer of a game you didn't even know was coming out this early, less than a week ago, that could be seen as quite worrying. I do also think there's a possibility with this game that EA don't think their studios are getting out games fast enough. They gotta impress Disney and Lucasfilm, because if they don't, that license will be up in a few years and there won't be a renewed contract. So definitely there's a bit of quantity over quality here, which I would safely say, and I hope a lot of you will agree with me, that quality over quantity is better. But when it's quantity over quality, it's a lot of Q's, but it's not always the safest way to go about things. So I think for now we can sit and wait. The trailer looked promising overall. Yes, there's characters in there when you notice like Hera and Wedge, and it gets people like me who are really into all angles of Star Wars interested, but that doesn't gain your casual audience anything really. The amount of people that watched that trailer and didn't see those small little character cameos here and there. It's the big games with Darth Vader, with General Grievous. Look how much he blew up Battlefront, and I hate to say it, but if Ahsoka and Ventress had just been confirmed for Battlefront, I think they would have got a much better reception than a game like this. But it's a risk I'm glad EA are willing to take. Let's try something different, and if this fails, and it well could fail, then I at least respect them for trying something different. So I will say they've not got much to lose here. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Do be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know your opinions on Squadrons, the state of Star Wars gaming right now, because Fallen Order's still 2 years away, and LEGO Star Wars, we don't really have a confirmed release date, unless that one from October is true. Could be interesting to see 2 Star Wars games coming out simultaneously. But I will see you all next time.